Many Democrats continue to support Biden. This is the reason why. One of the loudest audiences for the US president in recent memory cheered, "Don't you quit," when Joe Biden ascended the stage for a rally on Friday night in Detroit, Michigan. Amidst thunderous applause from hundreds of supporters, the presumed Democratic nominee declared, "I am running, and I will prevail." The high school gym was filled with the sounds of Tom Petty's classic song, "I Won't Back Down," as he exited the stage, a subliminal message to the growing number of elected party members urging him to step down due to age concerns. Despite the media attention garnered by the most recent politician, fundraiser, or liberal celebrity to disparage Mr. Biden, a more extensive group of Democrats continue to support him. The 81-year-old has received open support from at least 80 Democratic lawmakers, and more are following suit as he maintains his position. Many people place greater value on his political background, his moral convictions, and his triumph against Donald Trump in 2020 than they do on the consequences of his rambling performance in a debate or public appearance or health concerns during a fresh 4-year tenure. While Mr. Biden provided thorough answers on NATO and his intentions for a second term during his first solo news conference of the year on Thursday, his error in referring to his deputy, Kamala Harris, as Vice President Trump dominated many headlines. The beleaguered commander-in-chief's speech was applauded by his allies, for the time being, however, and was seen live by an audience that exceeded that of this year's Oscars, over 23 million viewers. Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina, told reporters on Friday, "I thought he showed a real command of foreign policy, really extraordinary. I don't think Donald Trump can talk about foreign policy coherently for 1 minute." The California governor, who has been suggested as a potential successor, Gavin Newsom, told CBS that he was all in for Mr. Biden and that there was no daylight between them. According to Pennsylvania Congressman Brendan Boyle, Joe Biden showed he knows 1,000,000 times more about policy than Donald Trump, the convict conman. According to experts, these leaders are endorsing Mr. Biden for a variety of reasons, such as his track record in government, his triumph over Trump in 2020, and the risk of nominating a new candidate so soon to the November election. Democratic strategist Simon Rosenberg stated, "I think people are being very respectful of the president's stated desire to run again. And it's also true that in our system, replacing a candidate for president this late is hard and is unprecedented, and so there's enormous reticence about making a big change." There was a healthy debate regarding the nominee, he continued. Nonetheless, a number of organizations, such as the roughly 40-member Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the 60-member Congressional Black Caucus, which Mr. Biden visited with earlier this week, have stated that Mr. Biden ought to be the nominee. Former Obama campaign advisor Amisha Cross stated that, in contrast to his opponent, Donald Trump, many black voters and the Black Caucus view Joe Biden as a president who is dedicated to civil rights. They understand what is at stake with a Donald J. Trump presidency, she stated. This is a guy who has stood against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. Several left-leaning Democrats, like as Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, who have previously criticized Mr. Biden for an agenda they believe is too moderate, have publicly endorsed Mr. Biden. Many people are aware of the threats a Trump presidency poses to LGBTQ and civil rights as well as climate change, according to Ms. Cross. These are things that matter to the progressive left, and the president has actually worked on those things, she stated. Up until now, those seeking re-election in traditionally Democratic districts have provided the majority of Mr. Biden's assistance. Those concerned that Mr. Biden may hurt their own chances of winning tougher seats have not. Needs to be respectful of their concerns and deal with them, I think, in a far more aggressive manner, stated Mr. Rosenberg regarding the White House. The latest poll appears to indicate that Mr. Biden has not lost a lot of support from voters, despite the growing calls for him to withdraw from the race. The Biden campaign has highlighted a poll that was released this week by The Washington Post, ABC News, and Ipsos, and it shows him and Trump deadlocked. The poll was conducted prior to the debate. However, the poll also revealed that 2/3 of Americans support Mr. Biden's resignation. The poll was conducted prior to the debate. However, the poll also revealed that 2/3 of Americans support Mr. Biden's resignation. A portion of Hollywood's elite no longer support the president. In an opinion piece published on USA Today on Friday, actress Ashley Judd urged Mr. Biden to resign, arguing that the party needed a robust candidate. This week, George Clooney wrote an even more critical opinion post against Joe Biden, which her column followed. The newest fundraiser to quit is longtime Democratic supporter Whitney Tilson, who told the BBC on Friday that he was growing more and more certain Mr. Biden will step down. According to the New York Times, other Democratic contributors informed Future Forward, a pro-Biden fundraising organization that promises totaling approximately $90 million, £69 million, were put on hold until he leaves. But other major contributors are standing behind the president. With over 20 years of experience organizing Democratic fundraisers, Shekhar Narasimhan stated that his plans were unchanged. "We are keeping our heads down to get the work done, but our eyes and ears can see what is going on," stated Mr. Narasimhan, the creator of the Asian American Pacific Islander Victory Fund, Super PAC. "It's the president's decision to make, whether he wants to run or not, and we will go with whatever he decides," he stated. "But it's better to end this discussion as soon as possible." He claimed that his belief in Mr. Biden's victory was the reason he supported him. This election will be decided by no more than a total of 50,000 votes in 3 states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and we have the ground game and infrastructure to win there, he stated. The National Finance Committee member Frank Islam said that he would be hosting a fundraiser at his Maryland home later this month. "I am absolutely going ahead with it because I know he, Mr. Biden, will win," he stated. "Give your thoughts.